everyone, it's Kayla, and today is going to be a video on the Naked 2 palette. I know a lot of people have this already, so in this video today I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Naked 2 palette, show you guys the colors. I also have photos and swatches all on my website in case you guys want to get a better look of it. It's all in the info bar below, so you can check out the link below. And I also have here the original Naked palette. I've had this for a long time now. It's had its use. It's kind of dusty because it collects a lot of dust because of the material, but I'll go ahead and talk about this one as well in case you guys want to look into buying one of the other. First off, here's the Naked 2 palette, and of course it comes with 12 eyeshadows, all full size, just like the first one did. And instead of coming with a primer potion like the first palette did, it came with an Urban Decay Lip Junkie in the color Naked. I actually like this. It's a plumping lip gloss, it's minty, and it tastes really good. So that's the Urban Decay Lip Junkie in the color Naked. Here's the actual Naked 2 palette, and I want to talk about the packaging for a quick second, just because I love the packaging a lot more compared to this guy. And I like it because it's more of like a plastic tin. I feel like it's more durable and easier to travel with. I feel like my eyeshadows won't crack or break or kind of flip up on its own when I'm traveling. So it has like these little clasps, I guess, that you can say that snap in place, and you can just push them down to secure the palette shut. So I like that factor, and I think it's a lot easier to kind of keep this clean because the first palette is like a velvet material. So I've had this for months and months, and dust is just clinging to it like no other. It's pretty ridiculous, and also the writing on Naked starts to wear off over time. So getting inside the palette, feature-wise, we have a huge mirror, and I like this because you're actually able to see most of your face compared to this one here, which I'll show you, and excuse mine, it's pretty darn dirty. You also get a brush instead of an eyeliner. When I got my first palette, I had an eyeliner, but I know that they now start making them with brushes, so that's pretty good. I'm not too crazy on this brush. I kind of wish they had an eyeliner because I would use that a lot more. I have my own brushes, but this isn't a terrible brush. So on one side of this brush you have a fluffy crease brush, and on the flip side you have almost like a shader brush. I just wouldn't use this as an eyeshadow brush like for all over the lid, just because I feel like it's synthetic fibers. I don't like synthetic brushes when it comes to padding color all over my lid. I feel like this is more of a concealer brush, so that's why I'm not too crazy about this. So just looking at these colors, you can just see right now that the colors are a lot more cooler here. You also have 3 different matte shades, and it's a lot taupier and frostier in this region here, so it's a lot cooler, which I like. They did, however, include a dupe, which is Half Baked. I don't know why they wanted to include the same color from the first palette into the second. I have enough baked eyeshadows. I have enough half-baked eyeshadows. I honestly feel like they put those 2 colors in every single palette. That is one thing I would change, would be to substitute that with something different. So looking at the first Naked palette, I want to talk about the color range in this. If you look at the beginning of this palette, we have softer, cooler tone eyeshadows, which is something you would find in the second Naked palette. So I appreciate that they kind of did more of that within the second palette, because I really only did use this first section of this palette because I feel like the rest of this is really dark, and I also think these colors here would complement darker skin tones a lot better than my skin complexion. There's just a closer look of the first Naked palette, and again, here's Half Baked, the color that's in the Naked 2 palette. So looking at the Naked 2 palette, I'm going to run through the colors and talk about the shades afterwards. So first here we have Foxy, which is just a matte cream color. I love this eyeshadow. I have it already in my collection and I hit pan on it, so I'm happy to see it in this as well. Next we have Half Baked. I'm not crazy on this color just because I see it everywhere. Then we have Booty Call, which is more on the light champagne side, has a little bit of pink undertone to it. Then we have Chopper, which is more on the chunky glittery side. Next here we have Tease, which is a matte color. It's more like a plummy brown, so I like to use this in my crease. Moving on down the line, we have Snake Bite, which is a bronze color, really pretty. Next to that, we have Suspect, which is one of my favorite eyeshadows for all over the lid. I've already used that on my eye today. Next to that, we have Pistol Verve. Next to that, we have YDK, Busted, and then after that, we have Blackout, which is a matte black, which is great. I just want to say really quickly, I am so happy to see that this palette has a matte highlight because I always prefer to use a matte highlight opposed to a shimmery one. And I also am happy to see that they have a matte black. So you have a color from each end of the color wheel, I guess you can say, because matte blacks come in handy to darken up your crease for nighttime looks, to set your eyeliner, or to even make it into an eyeliner. So I appreciate that fact. Basically, all these colors are very wearable for every single day. If you guys asked me to pick one palette to have in my collection forever, which would it be? I would have to say I'd go with the Naked 2 palette just because of the color selection and the packaging itself. I think it's more durable, the selection is more wearable for me and my everyday liking, except for the fact that, you know, they put that half-baked in there. That irritates me so much. If you don't have either palettes and you're looking into buying one, you know, just go with what your own taste is. Everyone's taste when it comes to makeup is different. I can't tell you to pick this one because I like it. If you like the Naked 1 palette, or the original Naked palette, then go with that. You know, it's all personal preference here. I did want to mention that Urban Decay makes amazing eyeshadows. Just the texture and the way that they apply to the skin is unlike anything else I've ever tried. I think I like Urban Decay eyeshadows more than MAC eyeshadows. I can't really say I like them more than my NARS eyeshadows because I think they're equally pigmented and easy to work with. And the fact that one Urban Decay eyeshadow cost about $16 on its own, you're getting 12 full-size eyeshadows for $50, which is insane. So it's definitely worth the price. You're saving a ton of money and it's all in one place. Chucking up those deuces, people. I got to go because my camera's dying. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!